Hey everyone, this is Katie with Army Project 529. We're trying to make Discord a little less intimidating. We've heard that it's kind of overwhelming for people at first, and it really is a great tool to have organized discussion. So we're trying to figure out how to make it less intimidating for people. So we wanted to go through and kind of give you a tour of the app. I'm going to do the desktop app here, and then I will have to make another video for mobile. So if you have the option, we recommend using the desktop or web app first. So yes, you can use this in the web browser or you can download the app to your computer and they look basically identical. So when you first join the server, you're going to get put on this page called verification. These are the server rules. You're going to be held to them whether you read them or not. So we encourage you to read them. And you need to click this green checkbox. Until you click that green checkbox, you're not going to be able to see hardly any channels over here. And that's intentional. We do not want you to be able to post in the server until you acknowledge that you've read the rules. When you join the server now, you're going to get an automated direct message, an automated DM from us that just welcomes you, tells you what your next steps are, and that sort of thing. But if for some reason you get lost and you're like, oh, where am I? There's screenshots here to show you. This is how you find your DMs. So on the desktop, it's this little top left corner, kind of looks like a game controller icon. On mobile, it's a little chat bubble, but it's still in the same spot, top left corner. And then after that, it's just a general welcome message, some links, some frequently asked questions, a quick rundown of sort of what channels are where. In the frequently asked questions, we show you how, if you walk in and you're like, I'm totally overwhelmed and I just want to participate in the general chat channel, I don't want to talk about streaming or, other K-pop bands or whatever we have going on, you can mute those channels. And there's a guide linked right here that shows you how to do that. And when it's muted, it's just grayed out. You don't get any notifications for that channel. By default, the server is set up so that you only get a notification from the app when you're tagged in something. So hopefully that cuts down on it being maybe overwhelming. We do have a local Hangouts channel group. So if you'd like to talk to people in your general region, um, this is how you figure out which region you belong to. So here's US, which countries in Europe, etc. And then within some of those channels, there are sort of sub channels. They're called threads for specific areas. Like I know we have a really active, I think it's Central Florida group that has a chat. Once you've kind of gotten the lay of the land, I'd recommend checking out the Add Your Roles channel. So this is where you can tell us if you want to be notified of certain things. For example, when we have a watch party, we have a little question of the day series, which we only post a couple times a week. It's not every day. But if you'd like to participate and be notified, you can sign up for that. And if you'd like notifications for where you can vote for BTS or reminders to do that, you can click here. You can tell us who your bias is, because sometimes that helps us steer you towards content you might enjoy. And if you see people with cool colored names like over here, this is how you pick that. So there's numbers here, the numbers match the picture, etc. That's how you decide what color your name is. And you can also tell us what your pronouns are so that we know how to address you properly. Once you do all that, I'd go to the Introduce Yourself channel. So this is where you can just tell us about yourself, whatever you want to share. A lot of people give their name, general location, how they found BTS, who their bias is, any other kind of hobbies, interests, that kind of thing that you want to share. If you want to know more about our admin and mod team, you can click this pinned messages button. It's a push pin, and you'll see the ones that we wrote back in the day. Some things I do want to point out. We have, this is kind of the general chat channel where just everything goes. There is this channel called the Bora Lounge. So if you see a channel that has a speaker on it versus a hashtag, the speaker channels are voice and video channels. So study hall is where you go if you want to be in a quiet working environment but not alone. Bora Lounge is if you just want to hang out and chat with people. And then we have a variety of channels about BTS. One thing I want you to note is there's this little arrow, and if you click the arrow, it shows you all of the channels, whereas if you click it again, it's just showing me the channels where there's unread messages. So if you want to, you need to make sure that things are collapsed or not collapsed to see things. And again, this is what I was talking about with the sub threads. So the channel, we have a channel for Namjoon, who that's supposed to be a koala. I don't know what that is. And then when a new album comes out or a new piece of content drops from a particular member, we tend to turn it into a thread, which helps us organize the discussion. And also, if people are trying to avoid spoilers, they can just not read that thread until they have time. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It's a little arrow under here. So for Jimin right now, we have a Muse thread. If you need to know how to find the threads, you click on the channel and then you click on the one that looks like a little spool of thread. And this shows you all the threads that exist. The annoying thing about threads is that they automatically disappear after 3 to 7 days of no activity. It defaults to 3. If I remember, we change it to 7. So if you can't find one, the place to go is the threads button. You can see all of them here. Yeah, here's where we talk about we have channels for K-dramas and other K-pop, pets, books, all sorts of stuff. The other thing I want to show you, so here's the local Hangouts area. And again, you can mute whichever ones aren't relevant to you. The other area I want to point out is online events. So Streaming Lounge right here, that's where we host the majority of our watch parties. And this allows us to have a larger group of people than we can have in the voice and video channels. So you notice the icon's a little different. It's like a person with little waves above his head. And finally, I want to show you Discord Help, which is the channel you go to if you need help. Post here, and this is the best way to get a hold of somebody if you need help, just because none of us, this is our full-time job or anything. So if you post here, the admin or moderator who can get to you first will answer. Whereas if you DM, you have to wait for that particular person to get back to you. Oh, I also want to point out the events section in the desktop app. It's going to be this little calendar up at the top. And these are all the events we have scheduled. So some of them are repeating, some of them are one-off, but if you want to be notified of them, you can click the interested button and you'll get a little pop-up in your app that says such and such event is starting. I hope this has helped at least a few of you feel a little less intimidated about Discord. Please come hang out, tag us in the help channel if you need it. We have some superpower users of Discord who have been on here for years. It's the best way to enjoy the AP 529 community outside of our lives. The URL to join Discord will be here, I think, or here. I don't know. It'll be somewhere on the screen. So yeah, hope to see you there.